My name is Rachel Maldonado, and my website is rhmaldonado.com. And I am with Jon Davidson. He is a writer, mixologist. Hey, so I want to
Hey,
know, since you are, cocktail extraordinaire, what's your drink of choice?
excellent question. I would have to go with one of my personal creations, the salted maple Manhattan. It's uh, it's fantastic. I wish I had one right now. That's
Okay, it sounds
just a
very
big
fall.
handful.
Sounds very fall. And what does that say about you if you like this salted caramel Manhattan?
I mean, I think it's appropriate for any season, but I would say
Okay.
that it says that I'm, a little sweet and well-rounded, but also pretty headstrong, and I like to get to the point, get her done.
Okay. So if you were to make me a cocktail, what would you make?
Well, considering you have texted me for a cocktail recipe lifeline several times in the past, I would say that I have kind of the inside scoop on what I would make you. I would make you a virgin Mai Tai with a twist. I would throw in a little bit of fresh passion fruit juice and also a little black pepper. Why not?
Black pepper. Okay. And what does that say about
No.
me that you're putting pepper in my drink?
I would say it says that you're mostly sweet, but also a little spicy.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So moving on from the drink of choice. In addition to being a writer, mixologist, you're also a world traveler. I've been in
Um,
15 countries, but I know you have me beat. How many countries have you been in, John?
I've been to 58 countries. I was actually supposed to be coming home from Vietnam today, believe it or not. And
Oh,
thanks to good old COVID, I'm here in Portland, Oregon.
I'm so sorry. Man, that's rough. So 58 countries. What's your favorite one?
Ooh, I knew you were going to ask that. Until last year, I would have said either Greece or Iceland, but I have fallen in love with Mexico. There's so much incredible natural beauty. The culture's amazing. So much like amazing food everywhere. The cost of living is relatively affordable. Everything from volcanoes to oceans to rainforests to waterfalls to deserts to mezcal to tequila.
Tequila.
It's amazing.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a
What's your
story
favorite
about
country?
tequila. Yeah.
I
Oh, my favorite?
do.
My favorite country, I would say, I think Switzerland is maybe the most beautiful
Ooh,
that I've seen. But the one
love
that is the
Switzerland.
most different, that just looks like no other place I've ever seen, is Peru. Machu Picchu is
Ooh.
stunning. Lake Titicaca, that's real. Google it.
Yeah.
It sounds dirty, but it's not. So, but yeah.
They'll censor you if you try and say it on TV. I found out the hard way.
Right. So tell me about tequila. You have this incredible story, and that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about. Tequila, Mexico.
So, Tequila, Mexico, which is a real place for the uninitiated, it is the birthplace of its more famous eponymous beverage, tequila. But it's a real town surrounded by volcanoes, about an hour outside of Guadalajara, which is Mexico's second biggest city. And I was spending a month or so in Mexico last summer and decided to climb Volcan de Tequila, which is Tequila Volcano, basically.
Okay.
And um, on the way back down, I was walking along a ledge above a cliff, and a boulder detached from the cliff itself and knocked me down about 85 feet.
Wow.
On the way down, I ripped my entire scalp off. Thankfully my hair is all grown back, but you can still see like one scar
Wow.
here. I also broke 21 bones, broke my back, broke my neck, broke my sternum, broke a bunch of ribs, broke my knee, broke my hand. Um, so yeah, I was not in good
Wow.
shape by the time I got to the bottom.
So when you got to the bottom, were you conscious? Did you know what was going on?
I apparently was conscious, but I don't remember anything for about the first 4 hours after it happened. Um, and it was probably about 12 hours till I actually got to the hospital. Search and rescue came from Tequila, strapped me to a stretcher with an oxygen tank. I had a collapsed lung too, so I was having a lot of difficulty breathing. blood everywhere. It was a really good look for me. Um,
Sorry for laughing. That just
and
sounds so terrible. It's just
it
so
was
gruesome.
the most pain I've ever been in my life. And yeah, took me to the hospital in Guadalajara where I stayed for 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. And then once I was finally cleared to fly because of my punctured lung, I flew back to the US. Took another month or so before I could get under the knife for back surgery. But yeah, they ended up fusing 6 of my thoracic vertebrae, and that also hurt really bad.
Goodness. Wow.
And
So
yeah,
from
it's
start to
been.
finish, how long was this recovery?
I mean, I would say I'm still on the tail end of recovery. I'm still going to physical therapy every week,
Yeah.
and still have some difficulty. Like when I'm exercising, I have a hard time breathing. Like my rib cage is just like super constricted. They actually thought that they were going to have to do surgery on my sternum after the back surgery. And thankfully, when they corrected the curvature of my back, it actually popped my sternum back into place.
Wow.
So,
One good
but
thing.
it's,
One thing.
yeah, the one silver lining. Um,
Oh man.
but yeah, start to finish, it happened last June, so it's been just about 11 months. And
Wow.
it has been, yeah. I mean, the one silver lining is that I guess the second silver lining.
The second silver lining. Oh my goodness.
Everyone is having a rough 2020 thanks to COVID,
Yeah.
But I'm like one of the few people that can actually say, you know what? Compared to 2019, 2020 is fine with me.
Like that, John. I really like you come
I'll
up
take
with
it.
silver lining after silver lining after breaking 21 bones. That is incredible. So then, that's hard. That's a dark time, the pain and the recovery. How did you keep your spirits up? How did you get to this less than a year where you're like this silver lining, that silver lining? How did you do that?
You know, um, I would be lying if I said that it was easy. But if there's one thing that I've always tried to communicate through my writing and through some of my
Yeah.
music is that like bad things are going to happen to
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and the only control that we have over them is how we respond when the bad things
Yeah.
happen. And so it was it was an interesting wake up call because I've been and I've been through some stuff before. I tore my Achilles, bit my tongue off mountain biking, had Lyme disease.
Sorry, I keep
So
laughing. I no, I just mean, yeah, just your
I've
tongue.
like
Yeah, okay, keep going.
it grew back. But I've been through stuff before, but nothing quite like this. And so it was a reminder that hey, it's time for you to practice what you preach, and it's time for you to choose happiness even when you're in constant pain and you feel like there's no end in sight. It's time to trust, and it's time to choose. Here's how I'm going to respond. And I think one thing that's really key is when we go through things, when we go through
Yeah,
hard times, whether they're physical or emotional, it's important to still try to reach out to other people and be there for them because often that's beneficial for you. And if I can do something to help someone else, that makes me feel better about my situation. And so it's, even though it's selfish in a way, it's healthy to be
it
altruistic.
works. So you're
Yeah,
saying choice, you had to choose to get through this grueling ordeal, and then not only choice, like I'm going to have this attitude, but what helps with your attitude is you help others. It really helps. Helps with both.
and I don't always do a good job of doing that, but I did find that when it's easy to get lost in your own introspection and in your own
Yeah,
pain. And when you realize like, hey, I'm not the only one going
yeah,
through pain right now. And maybe my pain is a little bit worse physically than a lot of people, but everybody is going through something. And how can I be there for others?
yeah. Man, that's good. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, so if there's a takeaway, what is it that, moving forward, what is it that makes you feel alive? Are you scared to go climbing, or, what do you want?
You know, that's been an interesting thought process for me because I desperately want to be the person that doesn't let this bring my dreams to an end or bring my
Yeah.
passions to an end. But I also want to, even though I was being careful before, I want to be extremely cautious and careful that nothing like this ever happens again, because it sucked. And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to find the balance of that. I'm trying to find ways to still be adventurous that maybe keep me off mountains for a while, even though I love them. But to
So
answer
just
your
a little
question, what makes me
skittish, just a
feel,
little skittish on the front end.
yeah, like I've even been up on, the roof of one of my rental houses, like sweeping moss, and I'm like, whereas in the past it wouldn't bother me at all. Like, I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Oh.
But I think that what's important is that you still. What makes me feel alive is pushing myself and challenging myself, and maybe that won't be physically as much for a while, but how can I challenge myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, language wise, learn a new language, learn a new skill, travel somewhere you've never been. Those are the things that, while they may seem scary, are the things that make life worth living, I think.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love that story, Jon. I like your outlook. And I'm glad you gave me a drink so that I could, I can have that drink and think about what you said. But thank you. I really love it.
Of course. Wish I could make one for you in person right now.
Okay, me too. I need one. We all need a drink. All right. Thank you, Jon.
Of course. Thank you, Rachel.